Whitehat SEO Services. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we're going to be talking about how to optimize Facebook page and all the related web properties on Facebook for organic search or SEO. Before we begin, there's a couple of table of content items that we'll go over today. First of all, simply how do you optimize the Facebook page? What are some of the tools that you can use? Also, how to optimize the Facebook groups, and how do you integrate SEO with Facebook in terms of digital marketing strategy? Some additional SEO tips overall. How do you optimize your reviews and marketplace? And last but not least, I will share some suggested SEO groups that are listed in Facebook. So first off, let's talk about Facebook. Facebook, I know some people might be like, hey, I don't like using Facebook. It's not user friendly, or it's just a lot of negative content out there. Similar to why Twitter was probably not doing so well after that initial popularity, because a lot of these social media platforms, they can't control these negative comments and content overall, and then people don't want to see negativity right on social media platforms. So that's why the engagement has been weaker for the past years now. However, in terms of user I guess user amount, Facebook is still by far the largest, just because the older age groups, they still use Facebook. They don't really use like the newer ones like TikTok. Those are for the younger audience groups, right? So Facebook kind of still touches the mass majority of the population in the world and all over the world in different countries, from older age groups to younger age groups. So that's why you can't neglect Facebook. It's still very important, and it's probably one of the most effective ways of like marketing. From my experience, if you want to get your website traffic boosted in a short time period, sharing it on Facebook is probably one of the quickest way. Um, and Instagram, obviously, which I'll probably eventually write an article about it. But for now, because Facebook is still the most used, most in demand, and most common, most understandable social media platform, I will start off with this one. So let's talk about how do you optimize Facebook. Well, why do we even need to optimize Facebook? Well, Facebook in itself is a search engine, believe it or not. Any web property that has a search bar where you can type keywords and look for something and shows up a result, it's pretty much a search engine. This is what we call vertical search engines. So understand there are four V's that are happening in terms of search trends. One is voice. There's going to be more voice search. There's Alexa assistants. There's Siri. There's OK Google, right? So eventually, we're going to get to a point where people will not have to type as much and go more towards conversational search because it's quicker, right? And it's also probably more accurate in the end when AI is really well developed. And the other one is visual or video too, right? People don't want to look at textual content all the time. It's boring, it's lengthy, it's probably hard to find what you need. So some people prefer visual, and it's the trend. Uh, Third is vertical. Sorry, so technically this is three, not four. Vertical is why Google is losing traffic. Why? Because when people want to buy, where do they go? Amazon. Well, if you're in America, you can probably say that, but for certain other countries, probably not. But globally, you can almost say most countries are using Amazon. So it's taking away a lot of traffic, search traffic directly. People are going to Amazon.com to type for something that they want to buy. So if they're looking for something to research information, they probably still go to Google. But if they want to buy, there's a high chance that they're going to go to Amazon. So that's why vertical search engines are becoming more popular. So Facebook is not a vertical search engine, technically speaking, right? People sometimes they like to use Facebook, sometimes they like to use Instagram, or they use TikTok. As long as they have a search engine, it's all they're all considered vertical search engines. Even forums like Reddit or you can imagine health websites like WebMD. I can't think of any on top of my head, but Wikipedia, no no brainer. These are all websites that have its own search engine. It's just that we're so used to searching directly and go to google.com. But a lot of these websites, they're all search engines. So Facebook, because it's a search engine, that's why the way we optimize, the way we use SEO methods and tactics still applies. And Facebook technically can still rank in Google search engine results. It's just that you need to be logged in to Facebook in order to see some of the results. Last I checked, it still should work. I don't know if they're going to remove it, just like how Twitter, they've been going back and forth whether they want to show tweets in the search engine results on Google or not. Pinterest is very SEO friendly, so all this content is open, just like Twitter. So you can technically see all the content in Google search engine results as long as they are relevant and as long as Google wants to show it. Facebook, you kind of need to log in still, but within Facebook, you can still search, right? You can still find information within Facebook's ecosystem. If you notice, Facebook has its own search bar, right? So technically, you can search things there as well. So that's why it's so important to understand that if you have a business page, for instance, or a Facebook page, you need to make sure that you're optimizing it properly so that it shows up when people are searching for those specific keywords. And if you don't have those keywords in your page, guess what? You're not going to show up. All right. So first off, what do you need to know about when optimizing for a Facebook page? Making sure your information is complete, comprehensive, making sure you can say give as much information about your business or service or your page pretty much to the audience as much as possible, and making sure it's consistent and accurate across different platforms. All right, so not just Facebook, maybe YouTube, right? Maybe Instagram, maybe your website. Making sure your information is consistent and accurate, whether your address, your telephone number, links to your website. This is how search engines will understand. Okay, this Facebook page is equivalent to this YouTube fan page or this website. If they somehow got lost in the way because the information, different addresses or different numbers, that is why you're not going to do well, because somehow Google is attributing to another similar business name. So let's say you're, I don't know, you know, MR Gasket, which is what we've been doing for ACC Vive. But we found there's another Mr. Gasket which sells car parts. So guess what? It's going to be confusing to Google. All right. So it's so important to making sure your information is consistent and accurate. Keywords, I didn't mention enough, but if I didn't, I can't stress. Keywords is pretty much another bread and butter of SEO, right? But where do you need to put these keywords in? The title of your Facebook fan page, the description, right? And within each of these posts that you're making, there's opportunities for you to embed those keywords in there. All right. Content's gonna be obviously important because it's the king or queen of SEO, right? Engaging quality content is going to be very important. If your content is not that engaging or has quality, it doesn't even matter how you optimize these content. It's not going to do well, because once people find it, they click the content, they go in and they don't like what they see. Guess what? The search engine is going to, remember, oh, your content is not, appropriate or relevant or engaging enough for our audience. So we're not going to give you as much impression or ranking, right? Rank higher. Uh, Now, this is a little different when it comes to Facebook versus like website SEO. You kind of need to personally be attentive to what your audience are saying. And that means you need to respond to their comments and their messages. All right. It's so Facebook, social media in general needs to be more than just, hey, I'm going to optimize this website and leave it there and then just let traffic come in eventually. Unfortunately, social media has an extra step where you need to kind of like build your community. You need to build your community of followers. And how are you going to do that is by responding and engaging with them. If you don't do that, it's not going to happen. All right. And last but not least, advertisements. Obviously, SEO takes time, right? It takes a couple of months or years to develop that, um, the lion's share of traffic. The quickest way to escalate that is simply using ads, because ads, they will show up as long as you're willing to spend the money. Results will come in right away. It's not like SEO. It takes time for search engines to understand the content and really assess how people are engaging with your content. Advertising is pretty much using a different algorithm where, as long as you're willing to pay for the money and you're paying higher, and your content's pretty much relevant, it's not like totally irrelevant, then you're going to get that ranking. You're going to get those search traffic results in, or social traffic results in, sooner than later. All right, let me jump into some tools that you can use as well. Um, Obviously, Facebook Insights is given. Once you have a page, and if you have business, you pay the pay version, you get a lot. You get even more data, but it's important to, you want to look at the engagement, right? How many people you're reaching, and who are your audience, the demographics, right? This is where you can. Essentially, this is supposed to be used for paid advertising, I'm sure, but you could technically use it for, when you're thinking about owned media, Facebook posts as well, like what kind of content should I target to who? Information is very, very important. So make sure you use this when you're running your Facebook page. Um, BuzzSumo is a very recommended content uh, tool, that tracking tool, performance tool. What the best thing about it is it lets you know how your content is being shared across different channels, even Reddit, and they'll tell you how many Facebook engagements, likes, shares, comments, things like that, and that's how you kind of know if your content is engaging well. It's great for when you're trying to integrate website with social media, Facebook, for instance. So BuzzSumo is also great that you can figure out, which influencers I need to work with. It actually has information like that. Now, on the other hand, Ahrefs, it's a great tool because on top of Google's free keyword planner tool, where it provides keyword volume, Ahrefs is going to help you understand how your page is ranking in search engine results. So believe it or not, when you type in your Facebook fan page URL and plug it into the tool, it can show up keyword ranking results. Sprout Social, another great tool, because you need a tool that can track and schedule your posts, and basically manage your social media accounts altogether. I probably would recommend Sprout Social. Another one is called Keyhole. Yeah, this will be great for competition, competitor analysis, and also looking at your hashtag performance. Another tool that's very niche for that. I'm sure there's a lot of social tools. Definitely share if you have some on in the comment below. And I would be happy to look into as well. Another important aspect of Facebook is the groups, right? You want to build followers. Guess what? One of the best ways, build a niche group, a niche topic group. Build a community of people who are interested in a specific topic. Um, and again, you gotta make sure your name, title, descriptions, group's name are optimized with keywords. Make sure you have set clear rules, because it's very dangerous when you just invite anyone in and then also just let them post whatever they want, especially spam, advertisement content that's not really relevant or beneficial to your group community members. So making sure you have set clear rules and boundaries, I say, that will help keep quality members and keep the quality members within your group so they don't leave. Making sure your group content has good content, right? If you're a specific niche group, let's say it's about SEO, you don't want to post about, like, I don't know, how to cook, even though it can be related to SEO if you're optimizing a recipe page. But if it's just showing videos on how to cook and you're in you have an SEO specific Facebook group, then it doesn't make sense, right? All right. Again, engage members. Like I said, you gotta have someone to consistently monitor that group, engage, post content. So you probably need to hire or just have dedicated super users. I like to call them. You need to make sure you have super users, people who are constantly using it. If you don't, guess what? That group's not gonna grow, and ultimately your fan page is not gonna grow either. All right. Just like websites, you want to share it on social media, right? So share it on Facebook, share it on TikTok, share it on Instagram, share it on YouTube. All right. So there's no way to grow your fan base quicker than just sharing across other platforms where they already are, because your TA is probably there. And if you have the right tools and data, it will tell you where you need to target your audience. Hashtags, right? Believe it or not, there's search, I mean, hashtag volume data tools. So if you have that, it's great to know which hashtags to use. I've been trying to use AI tool like OpenAI, and guess what? They're gonna help give you some suggestions, which is great. But I'm not sure if they're actually suggesting the best hashtags yet. But definitely use those tools to help you generate hashtags as well to give it a go and test run. And again, advertisement. You can advertise your fan page. Why can't you advertise your Facebook group either, right? So how do you integrate SEO with Facebook? Um, so it's very important that it's just making sure, number one, you optimize your Facebook fan page and making sure you have a website that try to promote. You can build a website content that promotes your fan page. You can create a Facebook fan page that promotes your website content. All right. Um, and then using the data for, let's say, website, you use Google Analytics or Google Search Console, which is great for SEO, and you have Facebook Insights. That's great information. You're going to be able to pinpoint, oh, what kind of keywords are people or pages content that they're appealing to. Now Facebook has demographics data, which GA, well, it has some demographics data as well, but for keywords to tie to demographics data, you have to integrate these tools together. So Google Search Console is going to give you the keywords, but it's not going to give you demographics data. GA, Facebook is going to give you demographics data, but it's not going to give you keywords data. So that's why it's so important to integrate these tools together. And then, yeah, using paid media with own media, right? Website, and promote it on Facebook ads. That's another way to integrate, right? And then track your performance using, like I said, Facebook Insight, Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and then even better, use Ahrefs or another keyword tracking tool to know what content is ranking well. And then making sure your brand is consistent across all these platforms. All right, on your website, on your Facebook page, or other social platforms or other platforms. All right, it's so important. The colors, how you design it needs to correlate. If it doesn't, if you're using different colors, the same name, it's going to confuse people. So don't be surprised that, hey, I want to change it up. I want to use a different color for my YouTube channel or Facebook versus my website. You probably don't want to do that, because then people will be confused and not be subscribed or be a fan of yours. All right. What did I not mention here? I think I mentioned most of it except maybe images. All right. So social media, it's all about visuals. So making sure you have image for each of these Facebook posts, um, and then making sure you have alt tags optimized. That's the only way search engines going to understand what the image is about. They're going to see an image and then they're not going to know what it is, because they're not that smart enough. But if you have an image, you need to add an alt tag so that it knows what the image is about. Reviews, yes, Facebook reviews, just like Amazon, you need reviews. All right, it's very important. If you know, Google's latest algorithm updates are all a lot of them are actually around reviews, because those are user generated content, UGC, and Google loves user generated content because it has high trust level. It's people, us themselves, that are writing content, not like me trying to write, make a YouTube video or a website content, which is kind of biased, right? It's all from my own perspective. But when you have reviews, it's content from a third person that's honest. Like, hopefully, it's an honest review. It could be it could be spam or robot generated. But if it's from an actual person, That's what they love. These search engines, they love this type of content. So it's obviously very important to encourage your users, your audience, to write positive reviews. If there's a negative one, that's why you need to engage. You need to talk to them personally, understand how you can, make it better for them. There's experiences where people have, resolved the issues of these negative reviews, and those people ended up giving positive reviews again. um, and then you can also put these reviews on your website. You can amplify it. You can turn it into an ad. Why not? Testimonials reviews are a great way to shorten that gap between the people that don't know your brand yet, who don't trust your brand yet. Having these reviews out there or testimonials is going to close that gap really quick. Also understand there's this thing called schema markup. Schema markup is basically, it's just extra metadata other than like title tag and traditionally like meta descriptions, right? It's just enhanced search snippet features that you want to show, such as reviews. If you don't have schema markup HTML code set up properly, the reviews will not show up in search engine results, unfortunately. So there's a coding called Open Graph. Obviously, you probably need to be more technical to understand what it is, but making sure you have open graph tags on your website, for instance, is going to help you show up the right content, images, text, title, description on social media platforms. And Twitter has its own. Twitter has Twitter cards tags. So if you don't have these set up properly, that's why is your image not showing on Twitter posts, of your website, or your title and description are not being set up the way you want it to be. Yeah, so marketplace, another very important feature of Facebook, right? It's like your place to sell used products. Usually, it could be new products, that you want to. It's almost like eBay, except it's in Facebook. So a lot of people are using this, and guess what? Same way you want to do SEO for Amazon, Etsy, or like I said, eBay. Trust me, they use SEO to get the results. Their listings show up. Again, use keywords. I can't stress enough. Images, optimize it. Use high quality images. You could target, because you have data, right? You can have demographics data. So it's important that if you use Marketplace to list your products you want to sell or service, make sure you're targeting the right audience. Um, and it's all the same, right? Using ads to, you can, again, right, share your product listing on Facebook ads, right? It's all about the same. So last but not least, want to share, yes, there are Facebook SEO groups. There's a lot of Facebook groups, but I'm sure when people are looking for Facebook SEO, they probably want to also know, hey, are there SEO groups you want to join? Well, here are some suggestions, which I'm part of some of them, and also I find they are have significant volume of members, and they are always pushing out content. If you don't want to be in a group where it's not pushing out content. So here are some of them. I think the highest in terms of member count is the digital marketing one, which includes SEO, social media marketing, and search engine marketing. So that one is very encompassing. Number six, it touches all the major social media channels. But if you want more specific SEO, probably want to look at, looks like, so SEO marketing group has the high amount, not bad. Yeah, and then if you want to look for jobs, the last one is a pretty good one. It's pretty much for digital marketing. You want to look for jobs. You want to look for tips and tricks. Those, another great group to join. And Signals Lab, great group because it focuses on case studies, split test results. So this is more for people who are more advanced. If you want to really uh, move beyond the beginner stage, this is the place you want to be, because all the other ones is probably going to be you know beginner level, tutorial level content. um, and then the marketing group, I forgot to mention, you could get to discuss with SEO experts there. SEO Mastermind, it also talks about SEO and Google Ads together, so it's about one search. A lot of the other ones in the bottom are more like digital marketing, but digital marketing, this one number six, it also gives freelancer opportunity to market themselves. So if you want to do freelancing, that's a great place to be. And digital marketing, this one number five, is more about strategies focus. All right, so Yeah, that was a lot. I know Facebook is definitely a lot. If you have other questions, comments, definitely, just make them below and make sure to subscribe to my channel and feel free to share this content on Facebook on other channels. Um, all right, like, subscribe, comment, do all that, and definitely that's how you get your social media presence stronger in search engine results. Stay tuned for our next episode. See ya.